Okay, so we've got a couple of things happening on the race at the moment. If we start off with the 4-person teams, and the reason why I'm starting with them is there's a huge ding-dong battle with them at the moment. There are 3 or 4 teams that are literally minutes apart. So for them, it's going to be key to see what strategy they're going to keep going with, where the pressure is going to start to apply. This is where the crew becomes vital, because the crews now will have to make sure that those changeovers for each rider is really slick and really fast. And if any rider on the teams have to stop for even a few minutes, it's going to cause mayhem. So that's really a great race to be watching right now. The solo riders, my gosh, Joe Barr, he's really putting in the ride of his life on this thing. He's going so hard out at the moment. And if you look at the likes of the tandem, we're looking at where they are. They're about halfway through, or just halfway through the solo riders. So again, they're putting in a great ride. The issue
they're coming from behind.
They are coming from behind, and they're strong. They're really strong. The issue that they're going to face really is down to sleep deprivation. Now, we know that everybody in this thing are going to suffer a little bit from the sleep. But with the tandem, it becomes difficult because you might have one person who's feeling really strong and energetic, and then the other person who's feeling exhausted. And it's how they match their sleep breaks that will make the difference for them in this race. The 8-person teams. The teams are going really well at the moment. They're so strong. As they come into this, you've got the Meath Fireblazers. They went out with the intention of getting to the front and leading it all the way. And that's exactly what they're doing at the moment. You've got Team Invictus. They're in 3rd place at the moment with the spokeswomen coming in behind the Meath Fireblazers. But the Meath Fireblazers at the moment, they're putting as much pressure on everybody else as possible to hold that, and I think it's working out for them. Unfortunately, with the Irish, unfortunately we have Eric has had to pull out due to a knee injury in the solo division, so I know he's very disappointed about that. But in this type of race, if you get a small injury like that, it just keeps getting worse and worse. You don't have any time to recover. It's not like a stage race where he could rest for a night and get up the next day and try to battle through. He knows that if he continues on with this, the knee will just get worse and worse. And for that reason, unfortunately, he's had to pull out of it. In terms of the Irish Ultra Challenge, so we've got Philip Colbert here. This man, if he keeps this pace up, we're expecting him back in trim tomorrow afternoon, early evening. So I would be saying, get ready to come down and see this man in trim finish the Irish Ultra Challenge tomorrow. And if the 4-man team keep going the way they are, and I have no doubt that they will, we're going to be expecting them in on Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon into early evening. So again, come on down and support them as they come across the line. It's going to be a ding-dong battle all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, great scraps throughout. Going back to Joe Barr, his pace is pretty relentless. Are we looking at records here? And what sort of, can he keep it up? Heading into the second night now, it's going to get fairly serious.
Yeah, it's one of those things that he's certainly setting a huge pace at the moment. It's again down to how he's going to manage his sleep. We know that he's going out there and he's trying to blitz this thing to get as far into the lead as possible. Because if he can do that, then he will allow himself a cushion to be able to sleep a little bit longer or to take a little bit longer of a break when he absolutely needs it. The problem is, how quickly will he be able to recover? So we know that Joe is extremely fit. We know he's really strong. But there's a very thin line where you push yourself to a limit where you get to the front, you drive to the front, and then can you recover in that period off the bike in order to go back on and keep that relentless pace. Now, I have no reason to suspect that he won't do it. I think that he will be able to take that sleep break. I think he will be able to get onto the bike and keep driving on. It's how much he'll be able to do that with the pressure of the other riders coming in behind him. That's what's going to face Joe over the next night.
And there's not much between the top 4 solos. I mean, it is pretty nip and tuck there.
Oh, it is. You have to remember, it only takes one rider getting off the bike and taking a 3-hour sleep, and all of a sudden then you've got another rider that passes them by. And this is what's going to happen now. You're going to start to see people taking sleep breaks, and those sleep breaks could lose the race for them. So they're trying to manage how much sleep they actually get and how much food they can take in before they go back out on the bike. So it's going to come down to the sleep breaks that they take.
And weather conditions, they've been a bit changeable through the first couple of days. Are we hearing any horror stories? Are the riders coping with it?
Oh, yeah. You know, we had one of our officials last night into early morning up in Malin Head. And he said, you know, Alan, he said, I've been here for the last 10 editions, and this is one of the worst I've seen. The conditions last night were absolutely atrocious. And the problem with that is that you get so wet, and it's so miserable, and there's so much wind, and all you can do is change your gear and go straight back out into the rain again. The weather is changeable. I know for a fact now that the teams are loving it. They've got a tailwind where they are, but the solo riders are still facing into that little bit of a headwind. So that'll make a difference. Once they start to turn around and head back through Connemara and feel the wind on their back, it'll make a big difference for them. The weather certainly has been really hard for them on the first night.
Yeah, not even halfway. Long way to go.
Long way to go. That's what I love about this race. You're never quite sure what's around the next corner. So you just have to keep watching the tracker. And you see the tracker with one of the riders, he may stop. And that's where it becomes interesting. How long is he going to stop for? How long is that solo rider going to pull over? How long is he going to sleep? And watching the other tracker getting closer and closer. And believe me, his team will also be watching that other tracker to see how close they're getting. And as it gets too close, then they have no choice but to probably wake their rider and say, you need to go out and ride again.
Right.